All right, you're here with Eugene Collins. This is a special segment here on WTQT 106.1 FM, the best gospel station in Baton Rouge, let me tell you. And if you got any questions today, you want to call in, and we're going to be discussing this MoveBR Tax here today. We got two experts. I'm talking about, we got Veneeth with the mayor's office. He's in the house today. He's going to introduce himself in a second. This man, he done traveled the world talking traffic, just about all 50 states. So he really know what he's talking about here.
I love the world, but 50 states, but that is the world.
Yeah. You know, about 50 states. You know, we just say travel the world. That's what we say down at the bottom.
Right.
50 states, you can travel the world. And we got the illustrious Councilwoman Chauna Banks in the building today. She's here to talk about this tax as well. And we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna jump right into it, man. And tell folks your name and your title out there, Rick.
Well, thanks, Eugene, for arranging this. Anytime that the administration has a chance to speak to folks, whether through social media, radio, TV, it's always a blessing. So my name is Veneeth Iyengar. I am the Assistant Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Baton Rouge, for the parish of East Baton Rouge Parish. I've started working for Mayor Broom almost a year ago. Started January 1. My wife and I moved back down to Baton Rouge from DC, and what I'm responsible for is really economic development, small business, innovation. I've got purchasing and procurement as a department reporting to me. I've got information services as a department reporting to me. And so this is, and we'll go into it, but this is really important for us as it relates to who's going to benefit the most, which are going to really be DBEs and small businesses as part of this overall tax package.
We're going to get back to this thing. Before we do, I know Councilwoman, you want to introduce yourself to the folks out there?
Yes, I'm Metro Councilwoman Chauna Banks, District 2, and I'm excited once again to be here because I sense the change that's coming to the northern part of the parish, and I just want to make sure the citizens know it's our time now.
So with this tax, you just mentioned small business, right? So what's the benefit of this tax to small business? Tell the folks out there radio.
So, you know, when the mayor brought me in, part of her challenge to me was, what can we do to help really drive economic and social change in North Baton Rouge? And so there are a number of things that we're doing that's helping to address issues when it comes to healthcare that you're aware of, Eugene, when it comes to issues around the grocery graft, when it comes to issues around both equity and inequality, especially in North Baton Rouge. But specifically addressing the benefits of this tax program, in addition to, of course, traffic alleviation, I think two important things that I think people in North Baton Rouge need to be absolutely aware of are the number of jobs that are going to be generated from this roads package, right? So we're talking about close to 3,000 jobs that are going to be generated. Folks these are great paying jobs. These are sustainable jobs. These are jobs where, in partnership with the community colleges, the folks at Southern, the folks at LSU, the high schools, a project like this is going to require a massive effort from the entire community to help train up a workforce to help develop the infrastructure for tomorrow, right? And this is going to go a long way to doing that. So that's on the workforce piece, and I love for the folks in North Baton Rouge to be aware of that soon. The second, and I think equally important, is the derivative small businesses and the MBEs and the DBEs they're going to have the opportunity to effectively start competing for contracting opportunities as this road package, ultimately gets hopefully passed, knock on wood, on December 8th. So if you think about it, we're talking about close to $1 billion of infrastructure spend. We're talking about the opportunity for businesses that are in the public works sector. We're talking about DBEs that are in the maintenance sector. We're talking about DBEs that are in the overall sort of janitorial services, professional services. We're talking about DBEs that are in the tech space. We're talking about a massive effort among these DBEs to wanting to participate, and it's critically important and has been. Of course, the mayor has hammered into me the need and importance of incorporating DBEs as part of the contracting process. So this is important because this year, and with Councilwoman Banks' help, we've done a number of equity and business seminars. We're unlocking opportunities within city parish contracting opportunities. We're trying to unbundle contracts. So in parallel to the opportunities that are going to be present we're already setting the framework and groundwork for DBEs to participate in the contracting process a little bit easier.
Now, if you got questions on this tax and you're out there listening in Radio Land, give us a call at 225-343-1075. Again, that number is 225-343-1075. And Chauna, when you were here last week, you talked a lot about the jobs as well, right? And there's been some questions like, okay, well, there's 3,000 jobs, but how long will it take to generate those jobs?
Sure.
Can you clear that up for the folks out there?
Sure. Now, of course, I'm not a civil engineer or anything, but about 20 years ago, I actually worked in highway construction, and the company that I worked with was it was dealt with rebar. And if anyone know about highway and road construction, rebar is the tire wire that sets the framework. And so just recently I was just thinking about that's an entire skill set that we open a door for a lot of people with these 3,000 jobs. And so part of the concern in my community is, yes, we have 3,000 jobs, but who'll get them? And with the mayor's commitment to DBEs and small businesses, and already we see her partnering constantly with areas of training, that needs to be part of that process. And so when we talk about unbundling and making sure who the different project managers are, I think it would be probably, we are having those conversations on making sure what is the training within your department that will help the average person that does not have, that has a high school diploma. So, you know, we think that, you know, back in the day we had JTPA, and it really is what is responsible for booming a lot of our construction jobs that we see today. And so that's the framework that we need to move in this 3,000. Who would ever think, once you have a job in knowing how to do road construction, know how to do sidewalks, know how to do all those things, you're not just limited to local jobs, you're limited, you have access to state jobs, federal jobs, and even sometime out of the country. So I see this as an opportunity, but first we gotta vote, you know, and that has been the conversation that I'm having near and far. Please vote early. We don't like to vote in the rain. Vote by Wednesday. I've said it, vote Wednesday, because there are about 5 different reasons why after Wednesday the chances of people going to vote is reduced. So I'm telling everybody tomorrow, rush out to the polls.
So we know early voting is already started.
Yes.
So when does early voting end?
Early voting ends Saturday, December 1st.
Okay.
And if you are like me, December 1st, it means Christmas is already here. So you get busy, you get parties, you get invitations, you get trying to hurry up and finish your work before you get out, take that time off. So I'm going to say right now, everybody needs to be rushing out to the polls. We have 4 early voting locations. I'm happy to say I have one in my district in Baker at the old DMV on Main Street. We have one at City Hall. Tomorrow we have council meeting. We need everybody to come to council meeting, but before you stop on the 2nd floor, before you get to the council chamber, and go vote. It opens at 8:30, it closes at 6:30. Get that out the way. There's a location at the Coursey Boulevard, the clerk of court, and then I think a fire station. But early voting, I mean, load the car up, all those first-time 18-year-olds that we work to register, make sure make it a family affair and go, because these are opportunities that have never, ever been available to the people in the northern part of the parish.
And that's a huge deal. And Veneeth, I want you to walk down this road with me for a second, right? And, you know, just looking at some of the numbers here, and you know, folks are saying, hey, you know, this is a sales tax, right? But it's like, what, a half-cent sales tax?
It's a half-cent sales tax.
What would that normally equate for the individual per year?
So we're talking about, you know, for someone that's making, I think, 50 or 75,000, we're talking about a couple $100 a year, right? Now, the one thing we need to remember for the sales tax is it's not a tax on things like medication. It's not a tax on food. It's not really a tax on the essentials. And 21% of the tax burden is going to be placed on people that don't live in the city and parish, right? And so, if you've taken a look at the size of our population post Katrina, you're beginning to see a lot of the surrounding parishes that have a large number of population. they regularly commute and travel to Baton Rouge, which means increased wear and tear.
So let me back you up for just a second there, because I want to hit a point that you were on. So you said if you make about $50,000 to $75,000 a year, right? Who's knocking on the window?
Yeah.
But y'all hit it out there. All right. Dr. J going to open the door there. Somebody really want to get in here.
Yes.
Boy. Now if you make about $50,000 to $75,000 a year, right?
Yes.
That equates to about $250 a year for that person making $50,000 to $75,000.
So that's going to be the annual savings per driver.
Per driver, right?
Savings, yeah.
Right.
So, because currently right now we're spending about 47 hours in traffic, right?
Correct.
47 hours in traffic, which is equating to about $1,262 a year, right?
Yeah.
So even with the increased sales tax, the less time that you're going to spend in traffic with this project complete, you're going to be saving money on gas and wear and tear
Correct.
of the car.
Exactly. And that wear and tear of the car, gas, that could quickly add up, because if you think about the amount of potholes and infrastructure and just idle time as you wait for lights to turn green. Part of this also includes light synchronization. So we know the challenges around the city and parish when it comes to lights taking forever to synchronize, right, or to turn green. That means, again, additional idle time for cars. Right?
So that idle time alone, you're probably going to make up what that tax
correct.
would do, right?
Correct.
So when the numbers break down, you're clearly saving money on this by, spending less time in traffic, the synchronized lights. And I was out of Dallas and they did that, and the traffic is like amazing on like the ground streets, not interstate, but on the ground streets, the traffic consistently flows. And then also, with something I just want to bring up in this, just received bipartisan support. So you got both Republican and Democrat support on it.
And what's really interesting is, what does the tax mean to the average family? So if you make a $50 purchase, it's 25 cents. If it's a $100 purchase, it's 50 cents, right? If it's $250, it's $1.25, and if it's a $500 purchase, we're talking about $2.50 on the sales tax. So really, it's a small pain for a long sort of gain, because what we're trying to do with this with MoveBR is this is going to be a generational project, right? I mean, these things don't come often. Every 30 years, if that, right? And so the opportunity, when people talk about our sense of place, the quality of place, the quality of living, right? It's that next generation of folks that we want to attract to want to stay and live here versus going out. These are the kinds of things that are going to be important, right?
And Chauna, I'm just looking at these numbers again, right? Because they say, unless you the Lord bring data, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at this, by 2032, you had 4.6 million hours of delay that's going to be saved, right? Another 27.6 million miles traveled, and then another 1,117,409 gallons of fuel saved. So for you environmental folks out there, that's a lot of savings, and not just for the environmental folks. Like if you ain't got a whole lot of money, you know what I'm saying? The gas. Can you talk about the economic impact that this is going to have on the individual person saving resources?
Well, for me, what makes this particular plan and tax appealing is we know that at least 25% of our drivers do not live in East Baton Rouge Parish, and that shared responsibility to make sure that our highways are maintained, that we have the infrastructure in place, that we have all the quality of life is appealing to me, because I would not want to pay for a tax that other people are benefiting and possibly causing the problem. So just that alone, I think, is something that we all, as you had indicated, we have bipartisan support, because it's a shared. If you're coming in from another parish, East Ascension, you're going to be buying lunch here, you're going to be buying some grocery here, and you're going to buy your gas here. So all those things play into how it helps our roads move farther. Now, we hear a lot about the traffic, and we know that's disastrous, but what makes this program so good is there are people who are stuck in traffic, who are spending all those hours and wasted. On the northern part of it, traffic isn't the issue as much, but the economic boom is what brings us to this table. And so we're so excited about that. And so I don't think it could be the architect of this project can ever be duplicated. And as Veneeth said, it's generational. So we'll see these projects. I'm old. I'll be 57 Sunday. But these are projects, especially when I talk about Elm Grove Garden Drive, that I'll see in, hopefully in the next couple of years. We have conversations when we're talking about the Thomas Road. These are projects that have never, ever even had an opportunity to expand, but what comes along with these projects is the possibility of businesses, homes coming into these communities. When people see that there's an investment from government to make sure that we have a bike share and sidewalks and all these other things, widening the lane, making sure that the cat's bus can turn around. All those are things that are attractive and that would bring business to a part of our community that somewhat had been deserted for many years.
So groceries, prescription drugs, and utilities are exempt, right?
Yes.
In this particular
Correct.
half-cent
Correct.
sales tax. And then, I want to pose this question to both of y'all, right? And we getting short on time, but I still want to get this question to y'all. If we don't have this tax, if this tax isn't approved, how does traffic improve in Baton Rouge?
Frankly, it won't, right? The city of Baton Rouge and the parish of East Baton Rouge is about 20% of the state's population, 20% of the state's economy, right? As manufacturing expands, as healthcare, as industries continue to expand, their challenges are going to be, how do you find the workforce and how do you bring them to facilities, whether in North Baton Rouge, South, wherever, in a timely fashion to deliver the products and goods for people throughout the country and throughout the world. And so it would be a big detriment, right? And it would be a strong signal, especially again to talent that we want to reattract to help really fill the pipeline that's generated in Southern and North Baton Rouge.
We got a call. We're going to come back to that, right?
Sure.
Call it. You're on a special segment with Eugene Collins.
Hey, Mr. Eugene, how you doing?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Hi, panel. How y'all doing?
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, here's my question, and this is my problem, because I'm on the no side of this tax, okay? Y'all going to have to do some serious research to me to vote yes, because here's my thing. And I know, I'm in agreement that we need better roads. I'm in agreement with this. But here's my problem with this tax or whatever. We still got neighborhoods roads that need to be fixed. We got a drainage system in neighborhoods, in my neighborhood, where they are building houses, and not fixing the drainage system. And when it rains, the water is building up, or the road needs to be fixed. Things like that. Okay. It's just we need cameras and all this going on. And trust me, yes, we need roads fixed, but it's other factors too that needs to be done too, along with the roads. So if they would say, okay, we're gonna do the roads, we're gonna do neighborhoods, we're gonna set up cameras in the neighborhoods. Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. And we're just gonna fix roads and nothing else.
Okay,
Okay, we're gonna put a bridge. Okay, but nothing else. Help me understand.
Sure. So this is Councilwoman Banks, and from the perspective of the Councilwoman, these are the kind of calls that my office get all the time, from constituents who are calling, about the existing issues. And one of the things, first of all, I want to say that the projects that we have, the problems that we have, like roads and everything, those things are taken care of based on the amount of financing we have now. So this tax will not only increase, but it accelerates the possibility of the issues that you're talking about. So when we're talking about, in this is sidewalk, drainage, landscaping, advanced traffic management, all the things that you're talking about. And I'm frustrated as a council member because it takes 3 or 4 calls. Feeling the shoulder, seeing my constituents having to walk on the grass, and not getting hit by a car. So I feel you, and it's what we hear. But without this income, how do we set a precedence for those changes? We can't say no to a half tax where everybody's paying for it and still complain. So yes, we do want that, but by saying yes, that empowers us to make more demands on the different departments that deal with drainage, that deal with transportation, because we're saying, look, we've done our part. We voted. The economy is going to be improved. We're going to make more money in the coffer. Now I want this street sign. When it comes to the new homes, if there's a new home in your community that does not have sidewalks, I don't know what the issue is, because that is mandatory now with the state. Any new homes, any new businesses.
It's in your district. These homes are in your district.
So you do need to call me because it is mandatory.
You have been out there. You have been out there.
Oh, this Ursula.
I don't know if you have been back out there. We're gonna side table that because you have my number.
Is this Ursula?
My whole thing is I am not comfortable with voting yes on this bill.
I understand.
I don't know how to get comfortable with voting yes on this bill.
Ursula,
because until it's proven to me that they're gonna actually. Sometimes you gotta
Ursula,
do it before you even have the funds there. Show me you willing to do it without the funds even there.
You're right.
You gotta put the effort there first before the funds are there. Show me that you're trying. They're not even
Ursula,
trying.
we're gonna put the councilwoman's phone.
You're absolutely right, and
in the live feed
so
on
just
Facebook.
give me a call.
Yeah, we're gonna put the feed in there for you, so you go ahead and call the councilwoman. We're gonna put the contact information down there, so you can call. We can have those conversations, because this got to be their continued dialogue.
Yeah.
And believe that, I cut you off, and you
It's
were saying
real.
something really important before I got to the
And
call.
she's right. She's right.
She ain't wrong.
That we have to do better in existing communities, and so it is.
So, ma'am. So as Councilwoman Banks said, one of the things that's critically important is for us not to repeat the mistakes that we've had in the past, which is to haphazardly build infrastructure, build roads without sidewalks, or build roads without the proper drainage, especially given what happened in 2016, right? And so that's why 25% of this close to $1 billion package is going to be specifically dedicated towards not necessarily building new roads, but rather upgrading existing corridors. And so that is something that is quite distinctive. It isn't just building asphalt, building concrete, and then there you go. It's really upgrading existing corridors. It's building and upgrading creating sidewalks, drainage, bike paths. I think that's 66 million, so almost 6.6% of the budget. So we've been very careful to consider community opinion especially in North Baton Rouge, and not to just build roads for road's sake, but to build roads with a purpose.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, this is a really data-driven study, and similar things are being done in other cities as well.
Right.
So you're starting to see that cities are moving towards this more progressive, more aggressive stance with traffic issues. So for me, this is just getting us on par with other cities.
Right, and I think the other thing is, in North Baton Rouge, building infrastructure like roads and upgrading corridors is one thing, but on Plank Road, in working closely with the council and Councilwoman Banks, Plank Road, especially that 4.3 mile stretch from the airport to effectively downtown, is going to be another transformative project, because we're going to introduce bus rapid transit, right? It's going to be an opportunity for that bus rapid transit to really help the folks that want to live and work in and along Plank Road. So we're taking a holistic an innovative approach to addressing infrastructure, specifically transportation in North Baton Rouge.
Now we way out of time. We took a call and we got really
So
into
we're gonna
it.
go to the airport.
And I'm gonna tell you next week,
Close to the airport.
close to the airport.
We need to go to the
Well,
airport.
yeah, y'all hear that, dog boy. Councilwoman Chauna Banks has started a sidebar on that. That's what I'm talking
We
about.
sorry.
But we're gonna be back again here next week, and Veneeth, I hope we can have you back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Continue
Absolutely,
that
yes,
dialogue.
thank you.
And really continue to further explain this half-cent sales tax that
Yeah.
other cities are doing. For me, it's that simple. But you have been here on a special segment with Eugene Collins.
And Veneeth Iyengar.
Chauna Banks.
All right. We're going to see y'all back here next week at 6:45. And just like normal, we're going to run a little bit over because I know y'all going to have a long question. Y'all going to want to call up here and holler at somebody. But that's what we're here for. We're
right.
here to educate. So y'all come on and call in and say whatever's on your mind. We want to clear it up for you. This has been Eugene Collins with a special segment, and I'll talk to y'all next week.